Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Entertainment Expansion. We're your hosts, Tyler Callahan and Mike Ferrante. Mike, how you doing?
Well, Tyler, I feel like I'm chilling on top of a mountain. Oh, so high up and in the freezing fucking cold. Welcome to New
Good.
York.
Good. Well, we're going to take a quick trip down to hell where we got to talk about some bad movies.
And it's nice and toasty down there.
Yeah. So, for anyone listening, next episode, we'll talk about what made us smile, what brought joy to our faces when we watched movies last year. These aren't the ones. These aren't the ones you're looking for. These aren't the films you're looking for, let alone droids.
Not even close, bud. Not even close.
So we both got our 3 worst movies of the year. However, we both have an agreement on which one of them is pretty bad. So, Mike, take it away. What is one of our worst movies of 2021?
Well, to keep this short and sweet, because we can shit on this all throughout 2022, but it is Halloween Kills, aka Kills the franchise.
Evil dies tonight, more like franchise dies tonight.
Absolutely, man. I mean, this movie has disappointed me further than, I don't know, maybe getting like a participation trophy. Like, this movie just fucking 2018 was just so good.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like the Rob Zombie Halloween movies. Okay.
Hold on. Those aren't all that works of art either. This is actually worse than that. I think I'd rather watch the first Rob Zombie Halloween than Halloween Kills, because some of the shots were beautiful in the film. Do not get me wrong.
Mm-hmm. Music was still good. I ain't got no issue with the music.
Yep. The problem is where they took the fucking story.
Yeah, script really can make or break a film, and this script not only killed itself, it chopped the legs off the momentum the 2018 Halloween brought back. Everyone was so excited where this trilogy was going to go, and I don't know if I speak for you, but at least for me at this point, I don't really care. Like, I'm not. It's not even on my radar. Halloween Ends is coming out this year.
Honestly, what if we're looking at it the wrong way? Maybe this was their plan once and for all to make sure no more remakes ever happen of this franchise. Halloween kills the franchise and Halloween ends the franchise. No, it's going to leave such a bad taste in everyone's mouth that no one's going to want to touch that.
But they should
for a long time.
They work in Hollywood. They're smart enough to know that doesn't matter. It's a horror franchise. If there's one genre of films that gets rebooted to all hell, it's horror films. How many Jason films? How many Nightmare on Elm Street films? How many Exorcist films?
Whoa, hold on. So that's where I'm going to slow your roll. There's a lot of fucking films there, but there's a lot of Halloween films. How many reboots did each of those franchises do? One each.
I didn't even get to the Halloween one. We're on to do you count 2018 as like a reboot?
It's a soft reboot.
It's a soft reboot, which means we're on the third. We have the original, we have the Rob Zombie, now we have like the soft reboot. Like,
hold on. Don't forget about H2O and Resurrections. Technically, that was a soft reboot as well because it rebooted the storyline after Halloween 2.
Yeah. So 4 semi, if not full-blown reboots, depending on which films you're looking at.
Yeah, Friday the 13th got 1, directed by Michael Bay's produced by Michael Bay's production company, Platinum Dunes, and they also did the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. They each got 1.
So you're making my point. You're making my point. Most big franchises get at least 1. Halloween's had 4. So what makes you think 10 years from now there's not going to be a 5th?
Let me put it this way, Tyler. How many times has Batman been rebooted since we've been alive?
Well, since we've been alive.
Since we've been alive.
4 or 5 times?
Yeah. I mean, we can't.
Spider-Man's been rebooted 3 times since we're alive.
My point exactly.
Look, the only reason the Conjuring franchise hasn't been rebooted yet is because they're still on the original run. Give it 20 years, we'll see Conjuring rebooted with like Patrick Wilson Jr.
Jesus Christ. But anyway, we're digressing from what a piece of shit this movie is.
This is what this movie does to us. We just rant and rave.
Absolutely. So once again, the biggest letdowns for this movie is just the script. It's like everything they wanted to set forward from the 2018 soft reboot of the sequel, they're like, all right, let's take away the whole Laurie's related to him. Let's take away, his mysticalness, right? Because then they got a little crazy in the last fucking 4 movies that he was literally just the shape, which is kind of what John Carpenter wanted, I guess. But in the first one, he's pretty human like, and in the 2018, he he's a tough son of a bitch, but he's still human. This one, he's not fucking human. Like he full on teleported at the end. Fucking ported after he was stabbed, clubbed, nailed with a fucking pitchfork to the goddamn ground, and shot.
Yep,
He
but
got
no,
up,
he
killed everyone
slowly
that
gets up and takes them all out one at a time. Yeah. Is he supposed to be
killed
like a
everyone.
70-year-old man at this point?
Yes, he is, Tyler. Yes, he fucking is.
You have all these people in their 30s and 40s dying one by one to a 70-year-old man who just got beaten to the ground.
He should be fucking dead.
Yeah.
And to
Yeah.
make matters
They
worse,
even let him
he
pick
just
up his
fucking
mask.
he fucking let's say he doesn't teleport. Let's say he speed walks back to the fucking OG house.
Yeah, he's power
Sneaks
walking his way to the house.
sneaks past all the fucking cops and paramedics and firefighters that are on the fucking grounds of the house. They're all around the property. He somehow sneaks into the goddamn same exact room as the fucking daughter of Laurie Strode and just movie ends. He's right behind her. Wonder how this is gonna play out.
Yeah, and by the way, in case anyone hasn't seen the film, the way the layout works is like even if he somehow sneaked in through the back, there's only one staircase going up. That's right next to the front door. Someone would have seen him.
Yeah, what do you fucking climb a window?
I mean, at this point, maybe.
Yeah, they still didn't explain how he got out of the fire. No, they did. The fireman pulled him out, I guess, right? No, he
Yeah,
pulled the
fireman pulled
fireman
him
into
out.
the fire.
But the same thing. Poor teamwork coordination. They could have killed him. No.
Oh man, this fucking thing. But some good kills though. Some good kills. They were very creative. Yeah. Another thing that kind of took you out of the movie is the whole going after the other guy that escaped the psycho bus.
Yeah.
And like what was the point of that other than just
part of me liked how it continued
padding the plot. Padding the plot. That's all they fucking did in this movie. Still like, ah, shit. We really don't have a script to make through these fucking things, so we're gonna have to bullshit the second one at best.
I will give it credit. I do like how they're trying to. Well, they were because now part of the reason like we were excited is that the idea was all 3 movies would happen in one night. It's be one long night. And I did like in this one they tried to continue because when the bus crashed, some people escaped. They continued that thread. I liked it how they went about it in this movie. Completely stupid with the hospital mob. And it kind of goes to your point, like, well, we know how we want to do the final confrontation, but we have to fill a whole movie to get to that. What can we do? Which is a shame because I thought the townspeople having enough of Michael Myers shit, I thought was an entertaining take on it. And I was wondering how would he get out of this so you have the final movie. I kind of wish it was something better, a lot better.
Oh yeah, don't we all? I think that's what this whole episode is about. Just wishing we got something better than what was delivered to us in 2021.
Especially after it being delayed a full year when it could have came out, but obviously because of the pandemic. Nah, just release it on VOD. Fuck it. Should have just came out. Get the disappointment over with.
Yeah, because they knew it was going to bomb in the fucking box office. And like, fuck it.
Yeah.
But Tyler, let me hear your number 2 worst movie.
Okay, so number 2. Now, these two are pretty close. I wasn't sure if I wanted to put it down as number 1 or number 2, but because it's a kid's movie, I'll go a little easier on it. Space Jam: A New Legacy. Now, you might be wondering, Tyler, why the fuck are you watching Space Jam?
Take it away, because I didn't watch that fucking thing.
All right, so I'm gonna do my best to explain the plot somewhat, and you're not gonna believe me when I try to explain the plot. So Don Cheadle is an AI inside the Warner Brothers servers on a studio lot.
Damn, he's just replacing everybody, huh?
Yeah. And he is jealous of LeBron James' Instagram follower count. So while him and his family are at the studio, he kidnaps his son into the virtual world. And LeBron has to go into the virtual world, and that's where he meets up with Bugs Bunny. And he finds out Don Cheadle split up the Looney Tunes to different Warner Brother properties. So it's up to LeBron and Bugs Bunny to reunite the team and go against Don Cheadle in a game of basketball. And if he wins, he gets to free his son.
Right.
Yes. For anyone listening who has watched Space Jam, you know how accurate that is. Now, I was excited somewhat for this movie. I know it's a kids movie, but I do have a soft spot for the first Space Jam movie with
Oh, of
Michael
course.
Jordan. Who hasn't watched that?
Still great.
Yeah.
It's still a great movie.
So I was thinking, all right, if we're redoing that, obviously it's got to be with LeBron. That's fine. But the fact they were going to go a bit meta with like the Warner Brothers properties, I thought it could be good. It was not good. Not. Partially because they kind of spend too little time. Like you get quick glances at the Game of Thrones world. You're barely in the DC universe. The Matrix is like,
The DC universe was barely there to begin with, so that
yeah,
sounds about right.
yeah, that does sound about right. So you would think, because I like the idea of the film showing off the IP Warner Brothers has, kind of like a Wreck-It Ralph situation or Ready Player One, in a sense.
Yeah.
It just didn't come together well. LeBron's acting, man, I've seen better. I've seen better from LeBron, just from LeBron himself. Don Cheadle, I hope that condo or house you bought with the paycheck is nice. Now, he didn't do a bad performance. He hammed it up like crazy. He knows it's a kid's movie. He went crazy with the performance. I kind of enjoyed it. He's supposed to be an evil douchebag. That's the performance you get. But then the Looney Tunes. I think part of my issue is some of them are just kind of straight up sidelined, like Daffy Duck. Daffy Duck's my favorite, so that kind of hurts. So yeah, it's just it could have been better, and it wasn't. It was kind of pretty bad. So yeah, it's on the list.
Makes sense. It's funny you bring up Warner Brothers being kind of meta, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm now going to talk about The Matrix.
Before you talk about The Matrix, there was one thing they actually did reference to Matrix where Granny is like Trinity and does like the floating kick. But continue.
So anyone who hasn't seen The Matrix yet, it's
That's
not
probably
that
a
good.
lot of people, considering the box office numbers.
Yeah, well, don't underestimate people's willingness to watch something because it's free on HBO Max.
What if they hear it's shit?
Some people still watched it, man. Some people are like, oh, you know what? I got to see it for myself, which I appreciate to all high heavens. Just because we do not like these movies doesn't mean you won't. This is just our take on them. Especially a lot of the movies we talk about are things we're fans of. So the first Matrix, outstanding film, but they gradually get worse. And this is a continuation of that shitfall. Keanu Reeves, love the fucking guy, right? Does his own stunts as far as like action goes, for the most part. And that kind of pulls you into the movie a little bit better. Why they didn't utilize their greatest asset. He did almost nothing cool in this movie. He force pushed people. That was his big thing. Like, bro, I saw you reach into Trinity's body in the Matrix, pull out a bullet, and restart her heart. And you're going to try to show me that he can force push is cooler. Nah. So some of the action scenes were pretty decent, but not at the level we're kind of used to seeing Keanu perform at this time.
No, let's be honest. The action scenes by themselves are good for a standard blockbuster film. But when you have Matrix, the original trilogy, even for as bad as the sequels were, provided great action. You have Keanu Reeves coming off of John Wick. Where the hell is the stunt team and the coordination for this?
Just wasn't there.
Everyone kind of agreed, even if it's the shittiest movie of all time, the bare minimum people should get are badass fight scenes.
And it didn't really deliver.
No, I mean, again, I'm more of a fan of this movie than you are, but I'll admit one of the weakness for this film is the fight scenes. My God. And you're right. Keanu Reeves, he has that short fight with Mr. Anderson. He's like, oh, I know Kung Fu. Never uses Kung Fu for the rest of the movie. Really?
It's just a shame. I mean, maybe Keanu wanted to take a break. That's fine. Just a major letdown. And the story was kind of weak, in my opinion.
It kind of just felt more like an epilogue for the original, more than like setting up something new, which based on the performance of this movie is probably a good thing.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole meta thing with
they require a sequel and
the studios want us to make another one, so that's what we're doing. It's like, and the Matrix is a video game that he designed in his perfect Matrix world.
And then he built a mini Matrix inside of it to start the plot. So it's like a Matrix inside of a Matrix. Inside of a Matrix.
Which she creates a combination between Mr. Smith and Morpheus, who then comes out of two Matrixes.
Mm-hmm. He's an AI program inside of a Matrix. So he is is that, and then he comes in the real world with the with those little
exactly.
Yeah. That's some program he is.
You're fucking goddamn right.
Maybe
But
maybe he's the one we've just missed.
but yeah, that's kind of all I got for that movie. I mean, it's not the absolute worst movie I've ever seen this year, and it's better than the next movie I will talk about. But Tyler, let
Okay,
me hear
well,
your final.
yeah, my final one. This is kind of a tough choice, I gotta say, because again, all these movies here are pretty bad. But I think for me, partially disappointment and my annoyance at the movie kind of turned to anger. Army of the Dead.
Mm.
The more I think about this, fuck this movie. I'm sorry,
I don't.
fuck this movie.
I'm stand by you on that one, Tyler.
Well, I don't stand by you on the Matrix either, but you know.
Fair enough.
So I love Zack Snyder. I think he's a great director. A lot of people give him shit. I think he's a good director. He's got an
For
eye.
action movies,
Right. Well, yeah.
I don't want to see him in a drama. I really don't.
Hey, look. If I can have a cinematic master, like the look of say Watchmen, but in a drama, could work.
Oh yeah.
Just saying. But anyway, he's got an eye for cinematography that is insane. All
That
the
is
actors
true.
love working with him. I was kind of hoping when he got a blank check from Netflix to make whatever he wants, and when I heard the premise of zombies in Vegas, it'd be interesting. It was not. It was not interesting. It was the least cinematic looking film, I think, almost ever.
The action was good.
The action was good. He still got that down. But otherwise, besides that, and some good performances, like from Batista, for example, I didn't really care. It didn't pull me in. And it did kind of annoy me. Like he kind of fell into the trap of building a universe, but the
Yes,
first
he
movie's
did.
not even done. Like,
Yeah.
small spoiler, but like you toward the end of the film, final shootout running through a casino, Batista shoots a few, they fall down, the skin falls off. It's a robot zombie. Where the fuck have these been? And I go online to find out, well, apparently the government sends them in to monitor the zombies. What?
Yeah, you got that. You got the fact that a fucking zombie fetus.
Zombie fetus. Zombies can get pregnant. Oh, okay, that's a new
Yeah,
one. And
yeah, my fucking point. Dead reproducing dead,
and
and
look,
then
these are all
and the
very
whole
interesting
the time loop
concepts,
thing
but
too.
he just throws them in. How about how people are displaced next to Vegas, right? And how the border troops there are real assholes to the people displaced. All these are interesting stuff. In all honesty, this should have been a high budget TV series for Netflix.
Yeah,
And what do we get post this? We get a prequel spin-off of one of the better characters from the movie. I'll give it that. They,
yeah.
but
Theater was good.
yeah, no, he was good. If anyone gets a movie, I'm glad he did. But you have all these interesting topics about the zombie universe, and we go for a heist movie set before the zombies. It's like, I feel like if he wanted to go full blown universe, he should have started and worked his way up. So, it's on this list also because I expect better from him. He can deliver great movies. He's done it before. He can do it again.
Well, that's true.
So, yeah, Army of the Dead. Yeah, I guess my worst movie of the year. Black Widow was close to making my list, I gotta say.
You're not completely wrong with that one.
Oh, is it your
But
number one?
No. We're actually kind of rebounding off each other this year because my number one worst movie I've ever fucking watched in probably a long time, man. And let me tell you something. I watched some fucking C-grade horror movies from time to time, and some of them are better than this fucking thing.
Okay,
I'm
what do you
talking
got?
about the new Resident Evil movie. God
Oh,
damn, was that a heaping pile of absolute shit. Oh my god. Anyone who's listened to us
question
for
though.
a
Question:
while,
Are you even surprised though?
you know what? I had high hopes.
After you
I'm a
saw the
huge
first trailer, I had high hopes until
listen.
I saw the trailer, and then that went
Well,
out the window.
well, listen. I didn't want to believe it. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. It's what got me into playing video games and on that route. And the first couple movies weren't fucking bad. Apocalypse was fucking badass. That movie was great. This movie got me hyped because they're like, oh yeah, we're going to the actual Spencer Mansion. I was like, sick, sign me up. Like, but we're also going to do the plot of Resident Evil 2 at the same time. Like, wait, hold on, that doesn't fucking make sense.
It was good
And
when they
it
mixed
didn't.
two games worth of story into one movie.
and they don't really use anything from either of the fucking games, other than William Birkin being a fucking CGI monster, and the CGI is god fucking awful in this movie, and they use it constantly, fucking constantly.
See, you
And
could
it's
get
like,
away with a
you guys,
low CGI if you do makeup on zombies, but yeah, for a monster like Birkin, you need good CGI.
bro, even the lickers looked like fucking licked someone's fucking taint. It was just stupid looking. Like, it was just worst CGI I've seen in a movie in a while.
How
They
about the
ruined
characters? Huh? You
it.
talk about the setting, the monsters. How the characters? Because they brought honestly a lot from both games.
They did. Leon got turned into some dipshit. Like, literally the dumbest fucking person in the world. Like, he is like, he's on another level in this movie. Leon's supposed to be a rookie, but he's still savvy and can survive a zombie apocalypse by himself, because that's what the second game was about. But they turn him into literally some dipshit. Chris Redfield, not as badass. Like, he did some cool things. I like the actress that played as Jill. She was pretty good in it. Wesker, well, I don't even know what the fuck was going on with that character.
Was it more of a
Right?
Wesker name only?
Yeah, it was literally just a Wesker name only.
Did he have his shades?
Okay,
Did he have
we'll
his
get there,
famous
Tyler.
shades?
We'll get there, Tyler. We'll
Okay.
get there.
Okay.
Don't you worry. We're on the ride to shit town right here. So Wesker, who's the basically behind the scenes main antagonist of the first game and a lot of the franchise, doesn't work for Umbrella, actually, in this movie. He's not a double agent. He only takes money from a third or second party company, the one that Ada Wong works for, gets a job from her, basically a payoff to go collect the intel or whatever. And his corruption was because he wanted money. Like, that was it. That was it. And he
Not.
dies. He dies, of course.
Oh, he dies. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Does he turn into a monster
Um,
before he dies, or he just dies?
He dies, but the end or post credit scene, whatever the fuck you want to call this piece of shit.
This movie really had the
wakes.
balls to do a post-credit scene.
Yep. He wakes up on a fucking slab and he's looking around crazy. Ada Wong's next to him, and they exchange some dialogue. And then she gives him the fucking sunglasses, and then he puts it on, and the fucking thing ends.
With like rock music in the background playing.
I was so checked out at that point. I was like, this movie's just, you got the balls to just.
That sounds like a mid 2000s like shitty movie thing. Like he slowly puts on the glasses and like it's the credits roll.
It's just, I feel bad for these actors in this film. This was probably a terrible fucking experience for them.
They're traumatized, really.
That movie was a fucking heaping pile of shit. Oh my god.
And
not really cool action scenes, and not really good fight choreography. The CGI was shit. The story was shit. The majority of the acting wasn't that good. So this movie's got nothing going for it.
Also,
it really doesn't.
If they were smart and they were going to do 2 games in one movie, you do 2 and 3. Come on.
Because they take place in the same fucking night. That's why.
Yeah, I don't know. Make it easier for your plot, but
But no. We want to go back to the Spencer Mansion. Cool. So utilize the setting of the Spencer Mansion. I'm all for that. If someone wanted to actually turn the first Resident Evil into a back to roots horror movie and not horror action, you would go to the Spencer Mansion.
That's
and it would
what they
great.
should have done.
Yeah.
Less action, more horror, game 1 only. Boom. And honestly, if it's just Spencer Mansion, they have to build up set wise. You can have a lot of good CGI, hide parts of it in the dark, still keep the budget low.
Yeah. Look at Alien vs. Predator Requiem. That whole movie you can't see. You got to turn the brightness on your TV all the way up just to fucking watch the film. Hey, they did their CGI real fucking well.
But that's not a good film.
Well, neither is this movie, so.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's our shitty list of the year. Did you guys watch some absolute garbage movies this year? If so, feel free to let us know at Entertainment Expansion. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you think our lists are completely batshit crazy, feel free to sound off in the comments. As always, thank you for listening.